The gospel yesterday was from Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. And it's a scene that we know very well. We read it every year during Lent. We try to imitate the fast that Jesus went through in the desert. This is the scene of him being in the desert and being tempted by the devil. 3 different times the devil throws things at him that as he's in a vulnerable state in the desert that might seem enticing, but we get to watch Jesus resist all of the temptations thrown at him. During this season of Lent, you know, we're called to prayer, we're called to fast, we're called to give in ways that we don't often. And this is the reading that we turn to find that strength, that we know that Jesus doesn't ask us to do anything that he didn't experience and go through. And he shows us that resisting temptation is possible. And it says in the beginning of the scripture, he was led into the desert by the Spirit. And, you know, we need to view our temptations in the same way. When we develop that relationship with the Lord, when we desire it, when we want to not just know about him, but actually know him, then when we're led into these temptations that life throws at us on a daily basis, we're not led into them alone. We're led into these temptations with the Spirit. And if we call on that Spirit, if we call on what we know and who we know our God is, we can resist them. I can't resist temptations by myself. I'm a human and I'm flawed and I will fail. On a daily basis, you know, I have surrendered to God and I want my will to be his will, but life throws some very enticing things at me. And especially in the times that I'm most vulnerable. And it's in those moments that I need to remember that my strength comes from him. And it is in those moments where I need to call on him and say, be with me, Lord. I can't resist these things that life throws at me alone, but I know I can with you by my side. And so that's why I take my prayer life so seriously. That's why I take my time in the Word so seriously. And that's why I take going to Mass on Sundays so seriously, because all of those things allow the Spirit to be with me, allows my relationship to God, with God, to grow. And then in those moments when I need to resist the temptations that the world throws at me, I know I can because I'm not going into them alone. There was a song that we sang at Mass yesterday, and it was exactly what I needed at this time to get through these last 40 days. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. I hope that this Lent you realize that with him, we can resist. We can pray more. We can fast from the things that we have chosen to fast from. And we can give in ways that he calls us to give. We are led by the Spirit. Trust that and live that way. Have a great week.